This is the group headquarters of Scott & Sons. With over 100 employees, the family-owned business generates annual revenue of $120 million. George Scott is the principal owner. Under his management, the company is now successful in its fourth generation of operations. Scott & Sons is one of millions of family businesses around the world. Family businesses are fundamentally different from other types of companies. One defining characteristic is the interplay and sometimes tension among the family, the ownership, and the business with their different interests and concerns. Family dynamics can derail even the most profitable enterprise. This was a huge risk for Scott & Sons. George had several points on his agenda that he wanted to pursue. His number one priority? Globalization. To gather more information, he attended the International Congress for Family Businesses. There, he met John Brown from PwC's private clients team. John has worked with family businesses for many years and understands the potential they have, but also the challenges they face. George explained to him that his company's bank had objected to his plans for globalization and refused to finance them. George couldn't understand why. His business was doing well, and there was so much more he wanted to do. As managing director, George decides the fate of his business. He has an interest in its long-term success and is concerned about the well-being of his employees, his family, and the surrounding region. Most importantly, he wants the next generation to eventually continue his life's work. But there's still time. After all, he's only 70. John had an idea of what was giving the bank pause. This is why he wanted to learn more about the business and the family. Because he knows, in a family business, the people making decisions have different interests. Over time, he got to know the Scott family and their points of view. George had secretly wanted his son Paul, the eldest, to succeed him, but Paul wanted to stay at university and teach. His daughter Claire was very different. She definitely wanted a career with the company and would like to succeed her father when he retires. However, her ideas and vision for the business were completely different from her father's. The two had been at odds quite often in the past. As a precautionary measure, George had named Mike Harvey, a long-trusted employee, to be his right-hand man. Mike had already made his mark in several ways and often brought this up, much to the anger of Claire and Paul. Mrs. Scott had had to step in several times as a result. She would always take on the role of mediator, preserving family ties. George, the children, and Mike had completely different visions for the company, each requiring its own solution. So John analysed each person's interests and developed targeted solutions. John knew that Scott & Sons needed a succession plan so the company's bank wouldn't cut off its funding. As the founder of the company would wish, company assets needed to be secured for generations to come, and Mike, the external manager, and Claire needed to be integrated into the company. The Scott family also wanted to move forward with expansion. The family was looking for the right markets that matched their values. In order to secure the business and the family's assets for the long term, John recommended that the Scott family draw up a family charter and create an advisory board. He also advised the family on implementing these changes. These steps allowed the Scott family to agree on a common strategy for the future. John also helped the family decide on a succession plan. During this process, John also gave George some tax advice, which was well received. For the Scott family, John played the role of a family doctor with a direct line to a university hospital, PwC. He called upon his vast experience to answer all the questions the family business had. If he needed more highly specialized expertise, he tapped into PwC's global network of experts and industry specialists. John used this network to involve his own experienced colleagues in Scott & Sons' expansion abroad, in developing a robust strategy, as well as in financing matters, because the bank was back on board once the succession plan was in place. At PwC, we have a keen understanding of the unique dynamics of family businesses like Scott & Sons. No matter what your size, industry, or market, PwC's private clients team of advisors are there to assist you. From strategy and governance, to business transition and private wealth, to putting your values in action, we have the tools, people, and presence to help you manage your family enterprise and build lasting value. We put our passion and expertise to work for your company. We're committed to your success. We help Scott & Sons, and we can help your family business too.